Hi, I'm Fka Mash. I'm an electronic music producer and artist from Soweto, Johannesburg, in South Africa. So basically, my first encounter with actually making music when I was in grade 6, or like 12, and I found like Fruity Loops on my friend's hard drive, and then I just started exploring like day by day. Like eventually it became very interesting, and about 4 months later I was like flowing. It was just I couldn't get away from it. And yeah, that's how I started. And day by day, by over the years, it just started to develop into a passion. um Deep house, I really love deep house. I was also into Boma Java, Casablanca. I was also loving DJ Monde, reconstruction series that with Frankie Feliciano. That's how I got into deep house actually. That Listen For It song with who was Marcus Inoxen. Yeah, that was my gateway song into deep house. What made me move away from that path was when I got introduced to Tulo the Song's music in around 2008-9, and it just sounded like nothing I'd ever heard before. I mean, I love deep house, but at the same time, I was making more black hole style music at the time. That's what I really enjoyed. Black hole, Tulo, um, you know, those people. Um, I would say, I would say, I also enjoy Kwaito, right? And Kwaito from like back then was very down tempo, and that's what generally my music is influenced by. That down tempo, kasi feel, even though it's more modernized electronic music. So that's my infusion of Kwaito, old school Kwaito, and modern day electronic music, and to make this new sound that is reflective of what I do. It depends. Sometimes some people work easier when you're with like right next to them and you make a song from scratch. Some people work easier when you give them the beat, and some people work easier when they give you an idea and you create a beat around that idea. So, for example, with Get Down, I made the beat, and then I said to Sam, "Look, I want to make a song. This is the vibe I'm looking for." So I gave him the beat. He listens to it, and he says, "Okay, give me the separates of the song." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll give you the separates." Then he takes it home, rearranges the song a bit, and initially the song was just a simple, straightforward house song, right? Then he changed it from the 4/4 beat, goots, 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 and changed it to goots, 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 goots. And once he had that, and he wrote like the lyrics, then he said, one day he asked me, he was like, "Yo, do you want the song to say turn up or get down?" And I'm like, it has to say get down. It has to say get down. It's the only thing that'll work right now, especially for what I'm trying to put out there. I'm not trying to put out ideologies from like outside of where we come from. We know what get down is. And so, yeah, get down happens. He writes the song, records it. Then he says, "Yo, come listen to the song." He lives in my hood. He lived in my hood at the time. So I went to his house, and then he played it for me. I was like, "This is it. We have a song. It's perfect." And that was 2 years ago. I prefer to make the song myself and then send it to someone to write for. Most of the time that is the quickest. Most of the time that is the quickest and easiest method, because we don't have to be at the same place at the same time, and I don't have to depend on your idea to make the song work. So I'd rather just make a song be satisfied with it myself, then send it to you. Then later we'll make any changes if necessary. Yeah. At first, it wasn't even intentional to call something like glitch dub or whatever. I just liked naming my remixes after something very unique in the song. So, for example, with the glitch dubs, I was doing a remix for a group called Black Suns, and Tahir Jones is part of that. So I took his voice, sliced it up. There were times where, like, he would in the song he would say a phrase, then towards the end it started glitching. Then I decided to call that song a glitch dub. That was the first glitch dub of that song. And then later I did another remix of a friend of mine. His name is Zawadi. The song is called Gabriela. Yeah. And then I did the same thing with the vocals. Then I called it glitch dub again. Then that song started to gain a lot of momentum on SoundCloud. Then I decided to start naming my remixes glitch dub, reglitch, and Afro glitch. So it's almost like when Ajaz has like the Astro dubs, Galaxy dubs, all those things. Yeah, I'm not really signed to them. Man, if I was signed, I would be a much more relaxed person in my life. But I do almost everything myself. So I find my own gigs. I find my own labels to release with. I do all of that myself. So I'm not signed to Stay True. Stay True, so far, they haven't signed any artists. What they do is they just license music from them and release it, like most labels do. And that's my relationship with Stay True. I'm not signed to them. I just license my music to them. They release it, and that's where it ends. Probably say Get Down. Yeah, Get Down. Get Down is a favorite because it's doing a lot for my career right now, and it took a long time for me to get that song. I mean, I've known Sam for 6 years, and when we met, it was like 2012. I wanted a song with him so bad, and it just never worked. Like every time I send him a beat, he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna sing on that." Send him a beat. I probably sent him over 50 beats. Yeah, and some of them he's turned down. Some of them he's recorded on. But at the end of the day, we finally got to Get Down, and it was a very fulfilling time in my life, because I was like, finally, I worked towards something and I got it. So Get Down is a favorite for that. Right now, like, I'm really enjoying this hustle. I'm enjoying the working for something and getting it. For example, Spring Fiesta. For me to actually get that gig and not even depend on like a manager or an agent to get it, and for it to happen so organically, is what's been most fulfilling for me over the past 2-3 years. So I just enjoy getting these things by myself. On the other hand, I'm just waiting for the right deal. I mean, I believe I've worked really hard to get to this point, but after a certain point, I am gonna get into signing to a label.
Get down away, get down away, get down away, get down away.